Have you ever wondered what would happen if Venus's thick clouds ignited, causing the planet to explode? Imagine our neighboring planet, Venus, known for its thick, swirling clouds, suddenly bursting into a blaze. Before we delve into the details of this cosmic conundrum, let's get to know Venus a little better. Venus, often called Earth's sister planet due to their similar sizes, is shrouded in a dense atmosphere composed primarily of carbon dioxide with clouds made of sulfuric acid. Yes, sulfuric acid, a highly corrosive and dangerous substance. It's these thick, menacing clouds that we're focusing on today. So, what does it mean for these clouds to ignite? In a nutshell, ignition is the process of catching fire, starting to burn. It's a chemical reaction that usually requires a certain level of heat, fuel, and an oxidizing agent. But what would be the result of such an astronomical event? Let's delve deeper into this fascinating hypothesis. To grasp the potential effects of Venus's clouds igniting, we first need to understand what makes up these clouds. The atmosphere of Venus, our closest neighbor, is vastly different from our own. It's like a pressure cooker, dense and heavy, with a composition mainly of carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide makes up a staggering 96% of the planet's atmosphere. Now let's dive into the clouds that shroud Venus. They're not your typical fluffy white clouds we see here on Earth. No, Venus's clouds are primarily made of sulfuric acid, a highly corrosive compound. This sulfuric acid, combined with the dense carbon dioxide atmosphere, creates an environment that's not just inhospitable, but downright lethal. The pressure on Venus is immense, over 92 times greater than what we experience on Earth. That's like being 1 kilometer deep in Earth's oceans. This pressure, along with the high concentration of carbon dioxide and sulfuric acid, makes Venus's atmosphere one of the most extreme in our solar system. So we have a planet with a dense atmosphere, filled with carbon dioxide, shrouded in sulfuric acid clouds, and subjected to extraordinary pressures. This is no ordinary planet, this is Venus. With such a volatile mix of chemicals, could an ignition even occur? And if so, what would it look like? Imagine the impossible. The thick clouds of Venus suddenly ignite. What would happen next? To answer that, we first have to understand what ignition is. In its simplest terms, ignition is the process of setting something on fire, or more scientifically, the initiation of combustion. Combustion is a chemical reaction that occurs between a fuel and an oxidizing agent, usually oxygen, which produces heat and light. So, for Venus's thick clouds to ignite, we would need a fuel source and an oxidizing agent. The clouds of Venus are primarily composed of carbon dioxide and sulfuric acid, neither of which are particularly flammable. However, for the sake of our scenario, let's consider some unknown element in the Venusian atmosphere that could act as a fuel source. Next, we need an oxidizing agent. Now, here's where we encounter a problem. Space is essentially a vacuum, meaning it lacks the necessary oxygen to support combustion. Without oxygen, our hypothetical fuel can't ignite, but let's play along with our impossible scenario. Assuming that somehow, against all odds, the clouds of Venus find a way to ignite, the result would be an energy release of monumental proportions. This is because combustion reactions are exothermic, meaning they release energy in the form of heat and light. The explosion would be unlike anything we've seen before. The force would be so powerful that it could potentially alter Venus's orbit, or even cause fragments of the planet to be ejected into space. These fragments could then potentially impact other bodies in our solar system. However, it's important to note that this is a highly unlikely scenario. The laws of physics as we understand them simply do not allow for an event like this to occur. Yet the thought experiment serves to illustrate the immense power and potential destruction that can result from the uncontrolled release of energy. The explosion would be a catastrophic event with consequences reaching far beyond Venus itself. The explosion of Venus would result in an astronomical event of epic proportions. But what would be the aftermath? Let's imagine for a moment the repercussions of such a cosmic catastrophe. The first thing that comes to mind is a colossal cloud of debris. With the force of the explosion, fragments of Venus would be hurled into the cosmos, creating a massive asteroid belt in the vicinity of where the planet once existed. This debris, traveling at immense speeds, could pose a significant risk to other celestial bodies, including our dear Earth. Picture a hailstorm, but instead of ice, it's fragments of a planet. Not exactly a pleasant thought, is it? The loss of Venus would also have a profound impact on the delicate balance of our solar system. Venus, the second planet from the Sun, plays a crucial role in the gravitational harmony of our celestial family. Its absence could potentially destabilize the orbits of neighboring planets, leading to unpredictable changes in their paths around the Sun. But it's not all doom and gloom. The explosion could also provide scientists with a unique opportunity to study the remnants of a planet, offering insights into the formation and composition of celestial bodies. While it's an intriguing thought, the ignition of Venus's clouds remains a fascinating, albeit unlikely, hypothetical scenario. Our journey into the depths of this hypothetical scenario has led us to some interesting revelations. We've delved into the dense, cloudy atmosphere of Venus and pondered the unlikely yet fascinating scenario of its ignition and subsequent explosion. This exploration allowed us to better understand the unique composition of Venus's atmosphere, the volatile nature of the hypothetical ignition, and the potential aftermath of such a cataclysmic event. While it's crucial to understand that this is all speculative and that Venus's clouds igniting is an event firmly in the realm of science fiction, it does make for an intriguing thought experiment. It compels us to question, to learn, and to appreciate the intricacies of our celestial neighbors. So while we can rest easy knowing Venus won't be exploding anytime soon, it's always interesting to explore the what-ifs of our incredible universe.